Hello Bulldogs, welcome to this week's news show. I'm Elvin Cesario.
And I'm Carson Kleinalter. This week we'll be covering the computer science Christmas decorations,
how to take care of a live Christmas tree,
teen jobs, and reporter Ashley's day in e-learning. The computer science class has worked on creating replicas of Columbus's structures and Christmas decorations. They call it C4 Holiday Lights for Love Chapel. Here's BNN reporter Luke Rutherford to show us more.
BNN sat down with Mr. Paprocki to discuss the setup of the annual C4 light display.
Hey, I'm Mr. Paprocki. I teach computer science, cybersecurity, networking 1, networking 2, and computer repair at both here and at East. I believe it started back with a teacher named Mr. Riley at least 10 years ago that I know of. They started at the football field, and since then we moved over here to this area where we have a bigger parking lot area for people to drive in and watch. Well, it's kind of handed down. Like I said, Mr. Riley started it, but the networking class does it because it does involve networking cables, all the boxes that actually do the programming with the music to program with the lights. My computer science kids could actually write some of that program language to where the light, create a new song. So if there's some new Christmas song that comes out and the kids are like, hey, we want to do that this year, they can then program the lights to go with that song. So it kind of goes along with it. Just setting it up takes over a week. So we have the construction class come in, dig the holes, set the post, and then my class brings in all the structures, and then we have to test, thousands of lights, strings, anything burned out, we have to replace those, we have to buy new lights. Every year we design it a little bit different, lay it out a little bit differently, so all that takes some time. Being my third year, it's not as bad. My first year involved a lot more of me leaning on some of the other teachers that have seen it. So the construction teacher helped out a lot the prior years, and then also we've used the engineering teacher as well with her class. But this year we did it all on her, pretty much by ourselves and a little bit construction. I think I learned, especially with my students being the way they are, introverts, they like to come in, sit on a computer and just kind of work on their own. This makes them work in a group. Actually interact with each other. Also gets the word out to the community so they can say, hey, look what I did, or you should come by the high school and see all the lights that we put up. It helps.
This is Luke Rutherford reporting for BNN.
As most of us are surely getting ready for the December holidays, reporters Molly Hotek and Kevin Graham show us how to properly take care of a live tree. We present Things Explained.
So you want a live Christmas tree to spruce up your holiday this year? Well, first you'll need to visit a tree lot, and there you'll find 3 options. Pine, which has very densely packed needles, spruce, which has very distinctive pointed needles, or fir, known for its softer, more rounded needles. The most common Christmas tree grown in Indiana is the Scotch pine. So how does one select the perfect tree? The most obvious is to look for a tree that's healthy. Healthy Christmas trees should have more green needles than brown, as brown needles can signify a diseased tree or a tree that's been dried out. Make sure the needles are pliable and don't fall off easily when you shake the tree. Finally, once you purchase the tree, make sure a fresh cut is made across the bottom of the trunk. This will help with water absorption. By the time you get the tree, you should have a tree stand and a place picked out in your house for the tree. Be assured that the environment for the tree meets these conditions. That means please keep it away from fire, as the needles, wood, and sap from the tree are extremely flammable. Christmas trees are not firewood, or at least not until after Christmas. And it's not just fireplaces. Any conductors of heat, such as radiators, air ducts, and stoves, pose potential threats. You should also make sure that there's enough space for the tree to expand both vertically and horizontally. No one wants their tree to take over the inside of their house. Now you might be wondering what to do about all those needles that are bound to fall on the floor, right? Here's a tip. By keeping the base of your tree in water, you can greatly reduce the amount of needles that fall off. Keeping the tree hydrated ensures that it hangs on to its needles longer, and that means less sweeping for you. Most trees require around a gallon of water in their base. The water level should be checked every day to make sure it covers the cut end of the trunk. Resin blocks water absorption and will cause your tree to dry out. If that happens, you can simply cut off the end of the trunk until you get to new wood. Another helpful tip is to lower the temperature in the room to slow down the tree's natural drying process. It's best to let your tree adjust for a day or so before you pull out the ornaments, garland, tree skirts, and toppers. But after that day has passed, feel free to go bonkers with your baubles. There are endless creative possibilities when it comes to decorating your tree. But what happens when the holidays are over for the year and all those other decorations are coming down? For most people, that signifies the end of that wonderful smelling tree that's resided in their house for weeks. Go down any street in January, and you're bound to see more than a few Christmas trees chilling by the curb with the trash cans, waiting to be taken to the dump. But what if there was something else that you could do? An alternative, more eco-friendly option with which to get rid of your tree. You're in luck. There's now tons of ways to recycle your Christmas tree. Some cities have scheduled pickups after Christmas, where they will take your tree to a charity or to a recycling center where it can biodegrade. Another option is to turn the entire tree into mulch. This mulch is a very nutritious and healthy fertilizer for your yard, especially during the winter. Spreading dried needles or even entire branches over especially sensitive plants like roses and other flowers can help them survive harsh frosts and winters. Your tree can be a starting for a compost pile, or you can turn it into a bird feeder, or plant it in the yard to house birds. The dried out trunk can become next year's Yule log, or you can keep the tree inside as a houseplant. Pine needles can be turned into teas and essential oils, and sometimes local wildlife officials will take trees to sink in bodies of water to create better ecosystems. So the next time you're thinking of just chucking the tree out with the trash, consider one of these more creative options instead. So there you have it, the declassified guide to taking care of your live tree this holiday season. Merry Christmas, Bulldogs!
Due to the pandemic, jobs have changed everywhere for everyone. Reporter Seamus Milligan speaks with young teens to show us how their workplace has adapted.
BNN sat down with Ella Fisher to talk about what it is like to work in a pandemic.
My name is Ella Fisher. I am in the 10th grade at Columbus North High School, and I work at Old Navy. I really honestly like the team here at Old Navy. We all work really well together, and I feel like we have a lot of fun with each other, so yeah. I got this job because I recently just got my license, and family car got handed down to me, so I want to be able to pay for my own gas money, and if I wanted to go out with my friends on the weekend, I'd be able to pay for it myself and I wouldn't have to ask for money. For the safety procedures that we have, especially at Ring, is the plexiglass in between the customer and the employee, wiping down the countertops after each customer and the pin pads, and then also in the fitting rooms, we wipe down each of the rooms. That way, we can keep it clean and safe for the customers. Do I feel safe working here during a pandemic? Which, of course, can you really be too safe during a pandemic? But I feel safe here. It's just always kind of, a little voice in the back of your head being like, oh, that could have COVID on it, or, somebody doesn't have their mask on, and if they have COVID-19, then, I could be exposed to it, stuff like that. But overall, I feel pretty safe working here.
I'm Gabby Donica reporting for BNN.
As e-learning continues for the rest of the semester, reporter Ashley Milne gives us a different perspective of her usual school day.
Why did the copy of this so I can play it every 25 seconds clip of it and sang over it? And I was like, oh.
Yeah, I got that. Everything on that SD, I got it. Alright, well, let's do.
Okay, so I just got back from my C4 class. I have to go in every morning, normal school time, so that's 7:45. And today I was late, I slept in. So I got an extra hour of sleep. and I rushed out the door. So that was not very fun, but it's okay. So my day basically today just looks like an average day in my life. I work today and I also have homework to do. Today is the 24th, I'm pretty sure. I usually finish a lot of my assignments when I'm in my C4 class, which is B&N. I got home from school and now I basically just get online and start my homework. So this is me doing my e-learning work for this week. We only have a 2-day week this week because it's Thanksgiving break tomorrow. Well, I guess technically you could say it's now because it's our last day. But I am scheduled to go to work 4:30 to 9:30 tonight, so that's what I'm going to be doing for the rest of my day today. So I just finished my kids learning work for the day, and then I'm going to go to work. I had a lot of work today and I had to catch up on it, so.
That's it for today, Bulldogs. I'm Elvin Cesario.
I'm Carson Clounter. Have a great weekend.